What's up YouTube? Chris Bandy here. I'm going to show you how to solve the 5x5x5 Rubik's Cube. If you have any questions or complaints, please read the description before commenting. Let's start with some quick terminology. We'll call these pieces the centers. The four pieces making a cross around each center will be called the center edges. The four pieces making an X around each center will be called the center corners. The edge pieces that are in the middle of each edge will be called the middle edges. The two pieces beside each middle edge will be called the wings. Okay, so to begin, we need to locate the white center. Here it is. And what we need to do is make a white bar on this center using that centerpiece. So to do that, we need to find white center edges. So here's one. So all we need to do is just rotate it and match it up like that. Let's find another one of those white center edge pieces. Here it is. So since this one goes up here, we can rotate it into that spot on this face and now rotate that up to make that white bar. Now we need to make a second white bar using one white center edge and two white center corners. We'll use this white center edge. So let's find a white center corner. Here's one. And as you can see, this one can slide right over to match up like that. There we go. And here's another white center corner. Now this piece goes down here. This is in the bottom right. So we need to rotate this face until this piece is in the bottom right of its own face. Then we can put them together like that. Now what we need to do is connect this white bar with our original white bar. So to do that, we just rotate our original white bar so that they're both pointing the same direction and then line it up like that. Now we need to make, you guessed it, a third white bar. So here we have a white center edge. Here's a white center corner. This white center corner needs to go here. It could go here, but here will probably be easier. This is in the top left, so that means we need to rotate this one until it's in the top left of its own face. Then we just bring it over like this. Okay, let's find another. Here we go. This piece needs to go here. This is in the bottom left. So that means this piece needs to be rotated to the bottom left of its own face. Then we just bring it around, and we've got our third white bar. This third white bar needs to be put up into the white center to complete the white center. So what we need to do is just rotate the white face until this white bar is lined up with that empty slot. And then we just push it up, and there we go. You might get something like this, which is a little more confusing, but it shouldn't be hard to rotate both the bar and what you have of the white center so that they're lined up and you can just slide them together. After solving the white center, you need to solve the yellow center. So we need to gather yellow center edges from around the sides of the cube and throw them up to the yellow face to make a yellow bar in the middle, just like the white center. So let's find a yellow center edge. Let's use this one. We need to move it to the left or right of the face if it's not already there. So we can just do that. Then we use the spin move to throw it up to the top. Okay, let's find another one. Let's pick this one. So let's move it to the right or left. We'll just pick left for this. Now before we use the spin move to throw it to the top, we need to make sure that it's going to form a yellow bar on top. If we use the spin move to throw this one up, that doesn't form a bar, that forms an L. So we need that bar. So, in other words, the piece that's already there needs to be opposite of where this piece is going to go. So we know that this piece is going to end up here, as you can see, just like that. So that means this piece needs to be opposite of that. So we're just going to rotate it around to the other side. Now it's on the right. Now when we use the spin move to throw this piece up, we've got a bar. After solving the first yellow bar, we need to solve two more yellow bars, just like with the white center. So let's find another yellow center edge piece. Here's one. Just like last time, we make sure it's on the left or on the right. There we go. Now what we need to do is join yellow center corner pieces to the top and bottom of it. So here's the yellow center corner piece. We see that it needs to go here. This is in the top left. So what we're going to do is move this one to the top left of its own face and then push it around to get these connected. Here's another one. It needs to go to the bottom left. So we're going to move this one around to the bottom left of its own face and then join these together. Then we make sure that our new bar and our old bar are lined up. You know, if it was like this, all you do is make sure that this one's vertical and then this one's vertical, and then do a double spin move to get it up to the top. So you go up, double spin, back down. Okay, for our final yellow bar, we can pick this one, and just like last time, we make sure it's going to be on the left or the right, so let's just pick the right. Okay, it's already got one of the yellow center corner pieces next to it, so we just need to fill in this spot. This spot is in the bottom right. So we go through, okay, this is in the top left, so we need to put that into the bottom right, and then just join them around. There we go. To put in our last bar, we need to put this yellow bar under the second bar that we put in. So that way, when we do our double spin move, it will push that bar out, and then just bring it back in to fill in our yellow center. So for the white center, just put it under the empty slot and line it up. But for the yellow center, put your last bar under the second bar that you already have there, and then do the double spin move. You might get something like this, where you're trying to build one of your yellow bars, but there's a yellow piece trapped in the top. And that's no problem. All you got to do is just pull it down, and then move it out of the way somehow, rotating this face, not like going like that. And then just go back up. And that will pull that piece out and preserve your white center. If you've got a yellow center corner trapped on the top, don't bring it down like this, because that's going to bring down some yellow pieces you've already solved and you want to stay up there. Turn the cube so that you're bringing the piece down with an empty slot that you don't really care about. Then just move it out of that slot and then move the slot back up, and you'll bring just this piece down and not anything else. Also, you'll want to avoid bringing down one of these yellow pieces into a face that already has yellow pieces, because then when you try to move it out of this slot, you'll just move other pieces into the slot and they'll get taken back up to the top. What you can do is turn the top layer so that now when you bring down this piece, you're bringing it into a face that does not have any more yellow pieces. Then you can move it out of the way and then pull that layer back up. In this case, we have both a yellow center edge and a yellow center corner trapped on the top. It's the same thing. All we do is just pull them down, move them completely out of that slot, and then move that slot back up, and that will bring those two pieces down. For the last four centers, just because of the way you're going to be turning the cube to solve them, it will probably be easier if you hold the cube so that white is on the right and yellow is on the left. So we're going to make a red bar using this red centerpiece. So we can bring down these edges, and obviously, if you try to bring down one that's on the top, it'll just move that center out of the way. So you got to bring edges that are on the side. Therefore, when you're building your bars, you've got to build them so that they're horizontal, because that's the only way. But after you make them, turn them vertical. So now they can't be messed up when you're doing these types of turns. So now we're going to make our second red bar. Here we've already got a red center edge. It's matched up to the red center corner. And here's another red center corner. It needs to go here. This is the top left, so we're just going to rotate it so it's in the top left of its own face. Bring it down. So we've made it. It's horizontal. We turn it vertical so it can't get messed up. And then we can just join these together. Let's find our last red center edge. Here it is. So we need to put red center corners on these spots. This one is already in the correct place to put it in. There we go. This one, because this slot is top left, this piece needs to be top left as well. So we're just going to do that. And there we go. And as you can see, doing that move messed up our red center, but since we're still just working on the red center, that's okay to just have these bars in different places. So we're just going to make sure all the bars are vertical. We've got one in the middle, we've got one on the left and the right, which means we can just join them all together now. So now we've got our red center. From now on, we've got to be a little more careful because basically every move we do is going to be messing this up. So we've got to have some sort of spin move to keep this intact. So we're going to solve the blue center the same way. We're going to make a bar, and we know that you can only make bars horizontally. So since we've got this edge here, we can already save some time by just putting it on the left. So now we already have 2/3 of our bar. We see an edge here, and so this one can just go right up here. There we go. And as you see, that messed up our red center. So we've got to have a plan to keep our red center intact, and that is the spin move. If we just do the spin move, it kills 3 birds with 1 stone because it joins our bar together, it turns it vertical so it can't be messed up, and fixes our red center. Okay, now we're going to make our other blue bar. So we see that we've already got 2 parts of it, and this corner can go up here. So we're going to join this together, and as you know, we need to do some sort of spin move to keep our red center intact. There we go. So now we've got a bar that's all the way down here, and it needs to go all the way up there. For the 4x4, you learned how to move bars up 1 space using the double spin move, which looks like this. And then we could just move it up 1 more time and get it in there. But I can show you a slightly faster way. Yeah, there we go. If you've got the bar down here and all it needs to go is 180 degrees, then you can just go ahead and move it in its slot. And of course it will mess up the red center. But we still have an empty slot in the blue center. So we can move that empty slot into the side that's going to be turned back to fix our red center. And then we turn that back, and now we've got our red center back, and we've got our blue bar in. So let's build our 3rd blue bar. Here's our edge. We know that we need to make the bar horizontal. So that means this edge is going to have to be on the top or bottom, because we're going to be putting the corners like that. Okay, so this center corner can come down. And obviously, now what we've done is messed up both our blue and red centers. So all we need to do is just, this side needs to go back up. So we're going to move what we've made here totally out of that side and then put that side back up. Okay, we're still making this bar, so we need to put it back so it's horizontal. Okay, and where's our last piece? Here it is. Okay, so this piece needs to go here in the top left. But if we rotate so that this piece is in the top left of its own side, taking it down is going to mess up a lot of our blue center that we've already made. So we can't do that. So what we'll have to do is just free this piece up into its own face, so then we can rotate it any way we want. So we're just going to take it out. We realize that messed up our red center. The slot that needs to go back up is the left side, so we're going to move this piece out of the left side and then put that slot back up. Now this piece is free to rotate over to the top left where it needs to be, and then we can join it down. We did realize we messed up our red center, so the left side needs to go back up, so we're going to move this bar completely out of the left side and move that left side back up. So now what we've got is our last blue bar all the way on the other side from where it needs to be. To solve this, we can combine 2 concepts that we learned. One of them we learned with the yellow center, where when you're solving your last yellow bar, you put it under one of the bars that you've already made and do the double spin move. And the second concept is when you've got this on the opposite side, this last bar on the opposite side, you can go all the way. So if we put those 2 concepts together, we can go all the way, And we can put it under the second bar that we made, which it already is, and that should be able to solve it. So we're going to go all the way, and then we're going to do the double spin, and then go all the way back. And now we've got both the red and blue centers. The last two centers are like a mini puzzle within themselves, but the same concepts apply. Start by making an orange bar. So I can throw this orange center edge up using the spin move. And since I'm making a bar, I need to make sure that bar is horizontal. And now I see that I can throw this one up. And now our bar is vertical, which is great. Now we need to make another orange bar. So I see that this piece can go down here. And I can throw it down. And this slot needs to go back up to fix our centers. So I'm going to move my newly made bar completely out of that slot and then go back up. Okay, then I can put this bar up here and use the double spin move, since that's how you move bars with the double spin move, to move it in place. Now I need to make my third orange bar. So I've already got two pieces of it, so I put them so that they are horizontal. And I see that this piece can be thrown down there. So I go down. And then because this is the slot that needs to go back up, if I just, instead of moving this newly made bar out of the way, I can move it into the way because it's got to go up anyway. And now I've got my last two centers. These methods will usually help you solve your last two centers, but often you'll end up having to switch just two pieces. Luckily, there's an algorithm for this. If the pieces are center corners, put them each in the top right of their faces. So top right, top right. Then do the dodge algorithm from the 3x3, but just leave out the first turn. So I'm not going to dodge left, but then I'm going to go up, dodge right, up, dodge left, down, dodge right, down. And there we go. That will swap those two pieces. If the pieces that need to be swapped are center edges, the idea is basically the same. Put them both on the right of their faces. There we go. Then do the dodge algorithm, again leaving out the first move. But this time, when you go up, instead of going up on the left, go up in the middle, and you'll see why. So to swap these two edge pieces, we're going to go don't dodge left, up, dodge right, up in the middle, dodge left, down, dodge right, down in the middle. So if you've got something like this, and you're too lazy to solve it intuitively, you can just use the swapping algorithm. We put the bad corner up in the top right up here, and we put the bad corner in the top right down here. And then we do the dodge without the first move. So dodge left, up, dodge right, up, dodge left, down, dodge right, down. And that takes care of the corners. Then to take care of these center edges, we put them on the right side. And then do the same thing, but when you go up and down on the left side, instead of doing left side, you go up and down in the middle. So dodge left, up, dodge right, up, dodge left, down, dodge right, down. Building the 5x5 edges is almost exactly the same as the 4x4 edges. The only difference is that you've got to do it twice for each edge instead of once. So let's just pick a middle edge. Here's one. So this is red and yellow. So we need to find a red and yellow wing to put next to it. So here's one. We need to make sure that these two pieces are on the same face and across from each other. So for a wing to be across from this piece, it would have to be either here or here. So this doesn't really count. So this piece needs to go over here. But obviously if we do that, that will mess that up. So what we can do is temporarily move this middle edge out of the way, get the wing in place, and move the middle edge back. And now we've got them across from each other. And just like in the 4x4, they should be showing different colors on top. After getting the two pieces across from each other, we hold the cube so that they are now horizontally across from each other. And then we make sure that this slot up here is completely broken, which means that all three pieces are different, which they are. We connect our wing with our middle edge, do the spin move, and then go back to fix our centers. So now we've got 2/3 of an edge. Instead of moving on to a new edge, go ahead and finish this one. Because if all you do is make 2/3 of an edge everywhere, then those will fill up all the slots and you won't have any room left. So go ahead and finish each edge before moving on to a new one. So here's our other red, yellow wing. This piece needs to be across from this one and showing a different color, which means it would have to be right here. And so we can get there in 2 moves. If we just move this piece, this wing away like that, then we can move it back like that. And there we go. Now they are across from each other, they're on the same face, and they're showing different colors on top. So they're going to connect horizontally. So we're going to make sure that this slot is broken, which it is. And there we go. We push them together to make our edge, do the spin move, and then go back. So yeah, that's how you build an edge, and it's basically the same as 4x4. So I'm just going to go quickly through the rest of them so that we can get to the last 2. So here we've already got built the middle edge and the wing for white and blue. So let's find that other wing. Here it is. We need to get these a little closer to each other. So I'm just going to kind of maneuver it along. Okay, there we go. So now they're on the same face. They're across from each other, but they're showing different colors on top, which is not right. So what we can do is move this one away, and then we see that this one can go up here in this spot right here. And for that to be okay, we would need these guys to go over there so that they can be across from each other. So this one can go over there, and then this one can go right there. So now we've got them back on the same face and across from each other, but now they're showing different colors. So now they're going to connect horizontally. This slot right here is completely broken, so we can go ahead and connect, spin move, fix our centers. Okay, white and orange. Okay, this one will connect with these 2. Okay, so there's white and orange. So here we've got red and blue, and the wings are in the correct spots, but we're just missing that middle edge. So we can actually do this the same way. Let's go find the middle edge. Here it is. And we put it down so that they're on the same face. They're showing different colors, and they're across from each other. And, we're going to connect this way. So we're going to make sure that this slot is broken. Now it is. And for this one, what we can do is just connect bottom and top. So we're going to connect this one here and connect this one here, just to speed things up a little bit. And then we can do the spin move and then fix our center, which means taking the top back and taking the bottom back. It's 2 white and red. There's that last piece. So here's orange and blue, and judging from what we did with that other edge, we really don't actually need to start with the middle edge. We can just connect the wings. So we're going to put the wings on the same face, across from each other, different colors. Make sure that this one is broken, and then just connect these wings together. So that may speed things up for you. Then we find the middle edge and do the same thing we did last time. So there's orange and blue. Green and red. And red and green still. Eventually, unless you get a skip, you'll just have 2 edges left to build. There are a bunch of different cases for these last 2 edges, but they can all be boiled down into 2 algorithms that you already know from the 4x4. To swap the front right wing with the back right wing, use the switch algorithm, which is the exact same as the build last 2 edges algorithm from the 4x4. There we go. To swap the right wing with the left wing on this front edge here, use the flip algorithm, which is the exact same as the OLL parity algorithm from the 4x4. We call it the flip algorithm because it appears that this middle edge needs to be flipped or these wings need to be flipped. But actually, when you swap a wing from one side to the other, it actually turns upside down just because of how the cube works. So swapping them will build this edge correctly. So here's the flip algorithm. Every case you'll encounter with these last two edges can be solved by some sort of combination of switching, flipping, and making U2 turns. I'll show you how to use process of elimination to easily solve any case. Let's do a worst case scenario. So here's a pretty nasty case for our last two edges. But we can just go down the list of algorithms that we already know. First we have the switch algorithm, which swaps the front right wing with the back right wing. That wouldn't help too much because the back right wing is already with its correct middle edge. It's obviously not solved, but this is red yellow and this is red yellow. So doing the switch algorithm wouldn't really help. So let's try the flip algorithm. Now, both of the right wings are next to the correct middle edges. Red and yellow are together, green and orange are together, so that's some sort of progress. It also means that the switch algorithm will still be unnecessary. We just did the flip algorithm, so doing it again would be pointless. So now our only option is doing U2. Now we can see that this green-orange wing needs to go up to be next to the green-orange middle edge. So now the switch algorithm is our best option. Now all of the wings are in the right places. The only problem is that it appears that these middle edges need to be flipped. And we know that means we just do the flip algorithm for each of these edges. So we took care of that one. And now let's do it on this one. Okay, once you've got all the centers and edges built, you can solve the cube just like a 3x3. There are no parities, so there's really nothing left to explain here. Alright, I hope this helped you. If it has helped you, don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends. And most of all, thanks for watching.